In the dead of night, New Covent Garden Market is a hive of activity. Once incoming trucks are unloaded, pickers waste no time in preparing orders for their morning deliveries. Even in a pandemic, restaurants and caterers want the freshest of fruits and vegetables as soon as possible. The vast majority is grown on the continent. So what happens if this fresh food is left to wait in a queue at the border?
The product has all been sown, it's all growing. The problem we have is the distribution. When it leaves our farms in Portugal or Spain, comes up, going through France, when it gets to Calais, that's when I'm really worried about where the problems will start.
Fresh produce is transported in refrigerated trucks to keep it fresh for longer. But some items don't last very long at all.
Aubergines, cucumbers, tomatoes, that's all going to be okay. But the finer, the more delicate, the salad heads, anything above 48, 56 hours, we will then start to see a deterioration in the crop. And I'd go as far as to say we might have to rethink things like baby spinach, which has got a very, very, very short shelf life. Baby spinach would not make it, even on a chilled lorry, for 3 days.
Shane speaks on behalf of the people who drive those chilled trucks.
There are still big problems of awareness. Logistics companies are still asking their customers for a lot of information.
He talks to them and to the government and tries to help everyone be ready.
The phrase is border ready. So having all the paperwork in place, depending on the products you've got in your vehicle and they're ready to move through the border.
And what if they're not ready?
If there's any kind of lack of preparedness, that will lead to a delay to that vehicle. And if there's any gaps in their paperwork, they will literally be stopped and turned around. That then creates a knock-on effect. It doesn't take very much of that for the whole system to start to slow down quite dramatically. Small delays, vehicle by vehicle, leads to long delays for everybody else.
Britain's supermarkets are preparing as best they can. In the case of goods with a long lifespan, that means stockpiling. The government says the UK has a highly resilient food supply chain, and there will not be an overall shortage of food, regardless of what trading arrangements are agreed with the EU. The chairman of Britain's biggest supermarket chain, Tesco, has said that shortages of fresh food can't be ruled out for a period of weeks or possibly months. Other people in this industry see delays as a certainty rather than a risk. The only uncertainty is how long they might last. Ty Genwright, Euronews, London.